Hello. I just wanted to do a quick video on something that happens to us all and is an inevitability of life, and that is aging. Most of us don't like it. Those of us that are a bit older, obviously I'm not old, but I'm approaching middle age somewhat. I'm nearly 41. I'll be 41 this month. And obviously, I'm getting older. I'm not obviously as young as I was, compared to being 25, etc. And nobody likes getting older. I think, most people, really don't like it, for obvious reasons. There's a lot not to like about getting older, but it's definitely not all bad. It definitely comes with some advantages, i.e. mentally. You just know a lot more as you get older. Your life experiences and things you go through teach you stuff that help you better cope with life. I've got tools now that I didn't have at 20, at nearly 41, that help me better cope with situations in life. When situations crop up, I'm just able to cope better with them, and that has advantages with your mental health. As somebody who's suffered a lot of depression and anxiety in my life, really bad depression, and it's affected large parts of my life and made life unbearable at times. I certainly feel like at 41, just through aging and life experience, I now have better tools in my head that help me cope with stuff and hopefully, avoid, going through stuff like depression. Obviously I can't guarantee I'm never going to get depression again in my life, but I feel like I'm, just because of, my age now, I'm better equipped to cope with stuff. I know more now than I know at 20. I know a hell of a lot more now than I knew at 20, definitely. I'd love to, have the brain and knowledge that I have now at 20. It would have definitely helped me, go through my 20s and 30s, hopefully without having any depression like I have done. I've gone through so much of it, I just spent large parts of my life just not even wanting to be here, just because I felt so shit about everything. Sadly, that's part of having mental health issues. You just feel like you don't want to be here, and unfortunately, it makes you feel like that. But yeah, I'm hoping now with a bit of age, it will help me to never go through that stuff again. Obviously, I can't guarantee it, but I'm hoping. I'm very positive about the future, and I'm hoping, that shit doesn't ever crop up again. So that's an advantage, a big advantage of getting older. Bye.